Hello, this is William Flamholtz at the Fleetweather Ocean Routing Center in New York State, and this is the weather short for Tropical Storm Ian for September 26th, 2022. We'll start by looking at a satellite image of Ian currently over the Western Caribbean Ocean. We could see that convection's blossoming over the low-level center with this convection wrapping towards the southwestern side, indicating that Ian is currently building an inner core. This is a departure from earlier today where we had a lot of loose convection surrounding the low level center, but nothing really focused over the center. So this is a sign that intensification is now underway. And this will likely continue as this heads over um, the northwestern Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico, passing over the western tip of Cuba um, sometime on Tuesday. If we look at shear right now, which is also plotted on this map, we could see shear less than 10 knots in some spots, generally up to 15 knots as we head up towards the far northwestern Caribbean. And this environment's likely going to move in tandem with the system before it reaches the Gulf of Mexico, allowing the system to intensify even more. Next, we'll look at the intensity forecast plots on tropical tidbits, and we could see a lot of models get this into category 3, maybe even category 4 intensity by Tuesday. We could see the official forecast here from the National Hurricane Center plotted in black, and they have a peak at category 4 intensity. So high-end forecast here, and something that we'll have to deal with um, as we head deeper into this week. Next, we'll use this super ensemble plot from Tomer Burke's website, which includes ensemble model forecasts from ECMWF, the GFS, UK Met, and Canadian model. If we play this forward in time, we'll see um, a general east-west variation in the forecast modeled tracks for Ian, with some members even re-emerging over the Atlantic Ocean by the 29th here. This is an outlier solution right now, as only a few members show this, but definitely something that we cannot rule out right now. But as of right now, it looks like the most likely track will be sort of north-northwestward bend into the Gulf of Mexico, and then a slowing of the system as we head um, towards the weekend here. We can see that play out. We play this back, we see that these circles are moving a lot faster than as it enters the eastern Gulf of Mexico, indicating that there's a slowing of the system around this time. Around this time as well, there will be increasing shear and dry air in the northern Gulf of Mexico. So um, as the system moves northward, if it doesn't make landfall somewhere near the Tampa vicinity, we can expect weakening to occur before mixed landfall in the Big Bend area, based on the latest modeling. However, we cannot rule out earlier landfall over uh, the Florida Peninsula, as there's a significant cluster of ensembles currently over that area. Next, we'll take a look at the National Hurricane Center forecast for Ian. You could see likely strengthening into a hurricane sometime in the early morning hours of Monday, and then becoming a major hurricane as it moves over western Cuba. Then we see this sort of northeastern bend and a slowing of the hurricane as we head into the Tuesday Wednesday time frame, and then weakening as we head into Thursday and Friday as it moves north into that high shear environment. Given that this is a 5-day forecast, it will likely change somewhat even from now. Um, but modeling has gotten into better agreement over the last couple of days with this sort of track. Next, we'll take a look at the GFS Wave Products here. And we'll see the system strengthening through the 27th into the 28th with an expanding area of very rough seas in this area of orange and yellow. especially on the western side of the circulation. But as we head deeper into the forecast, into the 29th and the 30th, as the system begins to weaken, it'll also broaden out this wind field. So we'll get an expansion of the rough to very rough seas, really overspreading the entire eastern half of the Gulf of Mexico. So any shipping coming in and out of this area, we'll have to keep this in mind through the latter part of this week, really until the system makes landfall into the Big Bend area and weakens dramatically due to the wind shear by the 30th. Then we can expect things to calm down somewhat. Also notice on the far eastern side of this low, we get the strong pressure gradient developing to the with the help to this high to the north. We get this area of strong northeasterly flow along the southeastern U.S. So vessels coming in and out of the major ports near Savannah, Wilmington, North Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, we'll have to keep an eye on this. As we can see a very confined area, very rough seas developing by the 29th and persisting into the 30th before this tropical cyclone begins to weaken. So that's something else that we'll have to keep in mind and as we head into the latter part of this week. This has been William Flammel. It's at the Fleetweather Ocean Running Center in New York. This has been the weather short for a tropical storm Ian. Stay connected and safe.